Archangel Michael says, there are some truths hidden in the silence of those who once loved you deeply, truths they whispered not to the world, but to God. The final request this person made wasn't ordinary. It came with pain, regret, love, and tears soaked in sleepless prayers. They didn't want anyone to know what they asked God for, especially not you. It was the kind of wish someone makes when they know they're running out of time and space. They folded their hands and closed their eyes, shaking, whispering a sentence that reached heaven faster than thunder. God listened. The atmosphere shifted the moment the words were spoken. The angels around wept because the wish wasn't made for their own comfort, it was made entirely for you. Type Amen to get blessing 333. They didn't ask for a second chance with you. They didn't even ask for your forgiveness. All they asked God was, let them never suffer the way I did. Let them never feel this pain. Protect them, even if they never know I asked. You were on their mind in their final hours of heartbreak. Even though you never heard them speak it, even though they acted like you didn't matter anymore, their last wish proved otherwise. The love they had for you didn't die, it just turned into protection from afar. Type Amen to get blessing 718. Archangel Michael says, this soul came to the divine gate asking for peace, not for themselves but for you. They left behind memories, but they carried the guilt of not telling you what they truly felt. Their request was not for mercy, it was for a miracle to be sent to you. They told God, I may have hurt them, but please don't let life hurt them more. The skies trembled as that energy moved through the heavens like wildfire. Because this was not a wish, it was a sacred vow they tied with their tears. God did not ignore their voice. In fact, heaven has already prepared the answer. But what God replied will break your heart in places you didn't even know existed. Type Amen to get blessing 907. God whispered back, they will suffer, but only enough to awaken their power. Then I will rise them up. The truth is, your pain was already written into the stars, not as punishment, but as preparation. You were always meant to cry before you could command your crown. The one who made that wish is gone, but the energy of their love still protects you in shadows you cannot see. Archangel Michael says, this person now walks among spirits, yet their bond with you is not broken. They know they couldn't be with you in this life. But they begged heaven to bring you light in every moment of darkness. Type Amen to get blessing 654. They asked God to hold you when no one else would. They asked for your name to be remembered in heaven. They asked that you never lose your path, even if you forget your worth for a while. God responded with a whisper that echoed across realms, then I will take everything that was meant to harm them and turn it into divine fire. You don't know it yet, but their final wish has changed your future. That heartbreak you feel sometimes at night, when you remember them, is part of that transformation. Their wish created a spiritual contract that is now unfolding slowly. What feels like loss will soon feel like divine rebirth. Type Amen to get blessing 118. This person's last prayer did not die, it became your shield. Every accident you avoided, every tear you cried and survived, Every door that didn't close when it should have, it was because of that wish. Heaven has honored their voice. God decided to answer their request, not with magic but with trials that would eventually crown you with wisdom. Their heartbreak became the seed of your future peace. And that is why you're still standing, even when you didn't think you could. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Archangel Michael says, "You were never alone even when you screamed into your pillow, thinking nobody cared. That person did, from the other side. Their soul has not left you, it still lingers around your energy when you feel the wind shift for no reason." Type Amen to get blessing 221. That person left behind a piece of themselves in your heart. You may not see them in dreams often, but when you feel sudden warmth or hear a strange silence in your room, that's them watching. And they're proud of what you're becoming. Their final wish was that you never feel unloved. Even when the world forgets your name, their prayer is etched into the book of life. And God stamped it with a promise. You are being watched from a distance. And soon, something will happen that makes you feel their presence so deeply, it will bring tears you didn't expect. That's the moment heaven fulfills the wish fully. Type Amen to get blessing 477. They didn't ask for you to remember them. They asked God to make your future so bright that their absence wouldn't dim it. Their love for you was quiet, but more powerful than you can imagine. You're going to hear something soon, a piece of news, a phrase, or a message, that carries their energy. When it happens, don't ignore it. That's their way of reminding you, I'm still here, in every victory you claim. Archangel Michael says, the bond of souls cannot be destroyed by time or death, it evolves. And right now, that evolution is entering your life in the form of blessings. Because their wish created a new path for you, a path no enemy can block. Type Amen to get blessing 303. They are happy now. But their peace didn't come from what they received, it came from what they gave. And what they gave was you. They gave God one last request with their final ounce of strength. And God answered with the energy that now surrounds you daily, the energy of divine favor, protection, and elevation. Something big is about to happen in your life that will trace back to their wish. You may not connect the dots right away, but it is already written. And when it unfolds, you'll finally understand why you had to survive so much. Type Amen to get blessing 147. This isn't just a message. It's an unfolding prophecy. Their final moment became the first step of your spiritual inheritance. Heaven is watching. The angels are aligning. And that person is whispering your name each time you forget your strength. They may not return in body, but they will return in signs, moments, miracles, and feelings. Trust what you feel. That's how they speak now. Type Amen to get blessing 525. You're about to rise, not because you forced it, but because their wish birthed it. The sorrow you felt will be turned into fuel. And their voice will echo in the next blessing that hits your life. When you find yourself crying again for them, remember, it's okay. They made their peace with God. But their love never made peace with letting you go. And neither did heaven. Type Amen to get blessing 999. They are closer now than they ever were when alive, not bound by the limits of time, pain, or distance. They can see everything, your fears, your struggles, your loneliness. And every time your heart trembles in the dark, they lean in and whisper courage into your soul. You may have thought they forgot you, or worse, moved on. But their last wish ensured that they could never truly leave you. Their final prayer was like planting a rose in the spirit realm, and now it's blooming in the form of divine signs you keep receiving. Archangel Michael says, you were divinely chosen to carry this love through storms, but never alone. The heartbreak you endured wasn't because you were forgotten, it was because you were chosen for deeper strength. And that strength is being honored now by heaven itself. Type Amen to get blessing 832. Every step you take toward your future carries echoes of their energy. That sudden feeling of being watched isn't fear, it's divine presence. They're watching you not to haunt you, but to make sure the pain never swallows your spirit. You may not understand why they never said these things when they had the chance. But the truth is, some people are only brave enough to speak when their soul is finally free. And now their soul is screaming your name across realms. They know you deserved better. They know you never got the truth. And they're making sure God gives you what they couldn't in life, peace, closure, and a future free of the chains they left behind. Type Amen to get blessing 274. Your tears were not in vain. They reached God faster than your prayers did. Because heaven responds not only to your words, but to the sound of your soul cracking open in sorrow. This is why a shift is coming in your life. Your seasons of being misunderstood are ending. The blessings being prepared for you are tied to the voice of someone who couldn't protect you when they should have. But now they're redeeming it. With every breath their spirit takes in the afterlife, they honor you. And heaven has placed a supernatural light over your path that no enemy can dim. Type Amen to get blessing 365. You're being guided in a way you don't yet understand. That person's last wish gave the universe instructions to move mountains for your sake. And those mountains are beginning to tremble. You will begin to feel healing in strange ways, through music, numbers, people who remind you of them. The wind will carry their essence. The stars will reflect their promises. Archangel Michael says, this next chapter of your life is not random, it's written in divine ink, sealed with that final request. The sadness you carry has a divine expiration date. And that date is closer than you think. Type Amen to get blessing 787. You may have doubted whether you were truly loved. But if you knew what they said in that prayer, you'd never question again. They didn't beg for their soul, they begged for yours to rise. They said, let them live a life so bright that my absence becomes their strength. And God replied, I will anoint their wounds and give them power they didn't know they had. You are not being forgotten. You are being molded. And everything breaking around you is making room for something they asked God to give you, joy that lasts this time. Type Amen to get blessing 616. The people around you may not know the weight you carry, but heaven does. That person's wish placed angels at your door, watching, guarding, and clearing the path for your new beginning. There will be nights where their energy is so heavy in the room, you'll feel it like a heartbeat beside you. That's them. Not haunting you, but healing you from the shadows. They want you to walk boldly now. No more hiding your scars. Those scars were heard by God and translated into supernatural protection over your next move. Type Amen to get blessing 155. You're not late. You're right on divine time. Their last wish bought you time, bought you space, bought you destiny. Every delay you experienced was God realigning your story with the one they prayed you'd live. And now, those delays are ending. You're stepping into what was hidden behind heartbreak. Archangel Michael says, this heartbreak was the door, not the wall. You thought you were abandoned, but you were being elevated silently. And now, even heaven is rejoicing for the version of you that is rising. Type Amen to get blessing 919. You are going to start attracting blessings you didn't even pray for. That's the energy of someone's final wish moving through your life. They asked God to surprise you, and God is ready to obey. Very soon, your life will shift in a way that makes no logical sense. People will wonder how you survived. They'll ask how you found peace again. And you'll smile, because you'll know, it came from love beyond the grave. There's power in last words. And when those words are spoken in prayer to God, they move faster than light. That's what's happening to you now. Type Amen to get blessing 847. You will find things in the coming days, notes, photos, objects, that carry more meaning now than ever. These are not coincidences. These are soul signals. Each one is a breadcrumb leading you back to the promise heaven made to someone on your behalf. Their spirit won't rest until you are resting in your truth, your blessing, your divine inheritance. They're not just watching. They're working with angels to fix what was broken. And the first crack of the miracle is already starting to show. Type Amen to get blessing 383. God does not forget promises. And God does not ignore pain offered on someone else's behalf. You have been in line for divine restoration since the day they made their final plea. They saw the strength in you before you did. They knew you were special. That's why they used their last words to speak into your future. Now, heaven is pouring what they asked for. And it's going to arrive in such magnitude, your enemies will be confused. But you'll know, it's because of love that never died. Type Amen to get blessing 277. They may be gone from this world, but their energy is more alive now than it ever was. Their final wish did not just touch heaven, it rewrote your spiritual destiny. You are walking under the protection of a soul who cried to God with your name on their lips. And the divine heard it. That's why you've been preserved through situations that should have broken you. That's why you're still standing, even when the ground beneath you shook. Archangel Michael says, "You are now surrounded by a divine army, and one of the soldiers is the soul who made that final request for you. They are not just hoping you heal, they are moving things to help you win. And what's coming next will silence every voice that doubted you." Type Amen to get blessing 602. You will wake up one morning and feel different. Not lighter, but more powerful. Not because of what you've done, but because the shift that was prayed for is finally arriving. You were protected when you didn't even know you were in danger. That was them. You were guided when you didn't even know you were lost. That was them. There is something inside you now that wasn't there before. Their love has become your fuel. The pain has become your prophecy. And the storms are now bending to your steps. Type Amen to get blessing 194. They once feared that they had failed you. But God showed them the future, and they smiled through their tears. They saw you becoming everything they once imagined. The light you're about to walk into has their fingerprints all over it. Because their last wish was not just for your safety, it was for your breakthrough. For your peace. For your elevation. The heavens have been waiting for the right moment to release it. And the signs are already showing up in small whispers. Pay attention, the message is becoming louder. Type Amen to get blessing 378. They told God, "Give them a future worth forgetting the past." And God said, "I will give them a future so glorious, even the stars will bow in honor." This is what your life is becoming. The wrong turns were part of the story, not the end of it. The heartbreak was the crack where the light could enter. And that light is carrying the essence of someone who loved you more than they ever showed. You may never hear their voice again. But their voice lives in your strength. In your calm. In your victories. Type Amen to get blessing 800. You have cried enough. You have bled enough. Now it is time to rise, blessed by a soul that refused to let your name be forgotten. Every door that opens now will be one they prayed for. Every miracle that finds you now is proof that love transcends even the grave. This is your divine rebirth. Archangel Michael says, "You are now walking in a prophecy sealed by two things, tears and truth. And nothing will stop what is meant to find you. Not even time." Type Amen to get blessing 411. Soon, people will come back into your life and say things that sound strangely familiar. Don't be surprised. That's the universe using others to echo what that person wanted to tell you but never could. They wished you strength. And you gained it. They wished you clarity. And it's arriving like light cracking through clouds. What was hidden is being revealed. The love that was buried is rising again, but this time in blessings. You will not walk in pain forever, joy is now taking its place. Type Amen to get blessing 993. Sometimes, when you feel overwhelmed and don't know why, you're feeling their presence. They are standing beside you in silence. They are reminding your soul that you are not alone. They cannot return, but they can stay. In signs. In dreams. In strange moments of comfort that seem to come from nowhere. You are being guided with invisible hands. And everything they once prayed would happen for you is now beginning. Slowly, then suddenly. Type Amen to get blessing 277. You will start attracting peace instead of chaos. Love instead of confusion. Answers instead of questions. That is the spiritual contract their last breath created. Your enemies won't understand why things are shifting in your favor. But you will. It's the return of everything that was prayed into the soil of your soul. This time, nothing will block it. You are stepping into a chapter that their wish unlocked. It is your time now. Type Amen to get blessing 619. The battle is over. The waiting is over. The sadness is being replaced by divine stability. Soon, you will find yourself smiling without understanding why. That's how healing works when it's sent by someone who loved you from the other side. They've cleared the way. They've spoken to heaven on your behalf. And heaven answered. Type Amen to get blessing 171. This message reached you because your soul was ready to receive it. You are no longer walking blind. You are walking with the spirit of someone whose only desire was for you to rise. Their last wish was not the end, it was the beginning of something sacred. Something no one can take away from you. A protection stronger than steel. Archangel Michael says, "This is your inheritance, born not of blood, but of love that never gave up." And now, you will see it manifest. One moment at a time. Type Amen to get blessing 842. The love you lost is now the love that fuels your journey. The prayers they whispered in silence are now roaring like thunder in heaven's throne room. And angels have been dispatched on your behalf. You may not know it, but you are walking in grace, mercy, and divine promise. Their final breath contained the blueprint to your next miracle. And it is already on its way. Type Amen to get blessing 733. They are not truly gone. They are in your dreams. In your blessings. In your strength. In your healing. Their last wish created a ripple that is now becoming a wave. That wave is going to crash into your life in the form of joy, clarity, and unexpected favor. And when it does, you'll remember this message. You'll know it was never just a story. It was your truth, delivered through love that even death couldn't silence. Type Amen to get blessing 1000.